Welcome to Annapolis Mosaics. Our program spotlights people in our community who are involved in activities designed to foster good human relations. I am Michael Keller, the chair of the Annapolis Human Relations Commission, a city board that focuses on enhancing equal opportunity and eliminating discrimination. My guest today is Rudwan Abu Rahman, who is the president of the Anne Arundel County Muslim Council. Thank you for joining me today on Annapolis Mosaics, Rudwan.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me, and thank you for giving me the chance to talk to our community at large in Maryland.
Well, tell our viewers a little bit about the Muslim Council. How many members that you have, what kinds of things you focus on, why it was established, how long it's been in existence.
The Anne Arundel County Muslim Council was established October 2007, so we are a young organization. However, we are part of the Maryland Muslim Council at large. Maryland Muslim Council, we have now 7 councils in Maryland, and we were lucky to be the 5th council organized. We think we have more than 5,000 voters in Anne Arundel County. Taking in consideration there is more than 300,000 Muslims in Maryland. We started for a mission, and our mission to empower our Muslim community to make our issues visible and to participate in all the civic and social issues, which is important for the American public, since we are first of all, we are American citizens, and we need to show the community that we have needs and we have issues just like every family in Maryland. And for the economic part, we need to talk to business people, and we organized as business community too. But first, we need to organize ourselves to come out to vote. Unfortunately, we have noticed that the Muslims' drive in the county to go to vote was not as it's supposed to be. So right now we have continuous registrations for voting. And with that, we have connected with many Muslims who have not been able to give back to the community we live in as a Muslim group, such as myself. I have been Rotarian in the Glen Burnie Rotary Club for a few years, so I can connect with the local community to give back as a charitable organization. So I was using and still use the Glen Burnie Rotary Club. Thanks God, now we have a parallel organization, which is the Anne Arundel County Muslim Council, where we already started last December, giving meat to the Lighthouse in Annapolis and to the Seventh Adventist Church in Glen Burnie. Last month, we had our first blood drive, which was very successful in the standards of the American Red Cross, that they asked us, please, what can you help, because we really need blood in the country. So we already scheduling another event for October, and I urge all your viewers to contact us www.aacmc.org, and we will provide the phone number that people can call us and join us for our next blood drive. But in the meantime, our holy month Ramadan, where it's a fasting month for the Muslims, is coming in September, and that will be our first high level food drive. And we're already in contact with some soup kitchens and churches who serve meals to the needy people and the homeless, that we can stock their kitchens. Now, I know there is Neon organization too, and that is part of our duty as Rotary Club. We help them too, and that will be in our focus. But our main target will be the churches and the soup kitchens in the county. We're not going to stop there. We will continue doing that, since we are tapping in more Muslim businesses. We find more Muslims in the county that they don't know that we are organized yet. But we are in the process. Hopefully, before the end of the year, we will have a good database. And we need, with that, we need to connect with the local government in such a way that they can help us to be directed to the areas where the help needed. And for that, we have this coming Sunday in the La Fontainebleau in Glenburnie, we have our first formal dinner where we have scheduled the county executive, Mr. John Leopold, to be our speaker. And we have a few politicians to join us too. I'm coming today after last night. We calculated our guests. We have more than 300 people attending, and those are the community leaders for the Muslims in Anne Arundel County. So I'm hoping that with the networking, the Muslim leaders and the business leaders for our community with the local politicians, that we can help in many issues, because we still have a project to come. We are fortunate American citizens in Anne Arundel County as Muslims, that our income is in the higher bracket more than the average people in Anne Arundel County. We are probably on the top 10%. With that, we want to give back, and we are giving back. We have in the past joined Howard County and Montgomery County to give back to the society, and the food drive Montgomery County did last December. They took 3,300 pounds of food to the food bank in Baltimore, because they couldn't fill any more places in Montgomery County. And we taking Montgomery County and Howard County as example for our council in Anne Arundel County.
The council is involved in many good works in these social activities that you've just described. How do they relate to your faith as someone of the Islamic religion? What does the Islamic religion teach about service to others, and especially helping people who are poor and needy? I think many people are not familiar with the details of your religion, and tell our viewers a little bit about what the Islamic faith teaches on this subject.
I want to stress on one thing, that the Muslims have different fictions too, like Christianity. So, but we as a council, we do not go into that. We are not a religious institution. We are a social, political council. We have imams. They urge us to do the civil work. That's part of their duty, and that's part of our duty as Muslims. And in our teaching, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, peace be upon him, said that if you sleep with full tummy and your neighbor hungry, you are not a believer. So it doesn't matter who's your neighbor? It is the neighbor. So we cannot ignore that the fact that there's hungry people in our county. We, as Muslims, as a faith, we have to give part of our income. We have to feed the needy people. One. Two, we have in Ramadan, we have our Futra or Zakat Ramadan, where we take part of our food and to feed the hungry people. Sick man or someone who unable to fast by a physician order have to feed a person for every day he or she break fast, which means a sick man in a bed or diabetes can have excuse from the doctor or ordered by the doctor, because we obey the physician orders, because we maintain our body because it doesn't belong to us, it is for God. So we maintain our body, not restrict. So someone have diabetes will have excuse to break fast. For the 30 days he break fast, he have to feed a poor person for the duration of the 30 days, or pay the amount of that feed and equal what he eat. He cannot say, Maryland, they eat $3 a day. No, if his consumption of food at home, $50 a day per person, he have to give $50 per day for a needy person. Our faith does not allow us to see someone need blood if we have the blood and not donate to them. In our mosques, our imams have urged our Muslims that they must go and fulfill the obligation with the American Red Cross to give the blood. If that's, I hope, answer your question?
Yes, it does. You did very well. With respect to and you touched upon this briefly in your previous comments, to the extent to which you're involved in some of these activities, how much do you interact with people of other faiths? For example, with churches or with synagogues, individuals from other religions. To what extent do you have what is called ecumenical activities?
I know myself when I have extra meat in December and I don't know what to do with it. I called Father Lawrence, Catholic priest. I said, I need help. Find me somewhere to take meat, because next week we're slaughtering a cow and we have the meat and we need to give it away. So Father Lawrence drove around and he found the Seventh Adventist Church in Aquahart Road in Glen Burnie, and he called me. He said, I'm very happy. I find a place to take the meat. So yes, we do, and I have a citation from him that I do community service before even the council started. As a Maryland Muslim Council, we meet regularly with Jewish organizations. I'm sorry, I'm not part of it, but we have part of our members who meet regularly. And we just got the Maryland Muslim Council, along with a Jewish organization, we got recognition from the Governor Award for Community Service about 2-3 months ago.
We're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we will talk with Rudwan about what it's like to be a Muslim in Anne Arundel County. We have returned now to a conversation with Rudwan Abu Rahman, who is the president of the Anne Arundel County Muslim Council. Rudwan, could you share with us a little bit about what some of the challenges are that people of the Islamic faith are facing now as residents of Annapolis and Anne Arundel County?
One of the challenge we found is to explain to the general public that we are Americans before anything else, and we want people to understand that we have the same issues like every family in Maryland. We need food to have food on the table. We need to sleep in peace. We need to have our children educated proper. One of the problems we have is we feel the education is not strong enough for our generation. And education for the Muslim community is very important because we are ordered to have our children educated. So to us, that's one of the challenges. And we understand there is profiling. People complain about profiling sometimes. I did not notice. I own a business. I came to America in 1990 and I own a business, and I did not see in the community where I live with any of that. But I'm told the profiling is an issue to some of my community. That is why we have been working diligently in Annapolis, especially in Annapolis, to communicate with other faiths. And that's taking me back to your previous questions. And we had the peace rally last December, where we had an agreement of rabbi, a priest from a Christian priest, and a Muslim imam. And the three faiths came out in Annapolis, rally to support the peace in the Middle East. We work with the Quakers in Annapolis very closely, and we have programs and visitation between some of our Muslim community back and forth. So this is, I would say, this is a challenge. And the other thing, connecting to the politician, and that's what we're working to solve, connecting to the politicians to expose our issues. And it's the same like everybody else's issues in the county. But we want to be recognized as a block of Muslims where we have perhaps some issues where we urge in education, in healthcare, in economy empowerment for our group, and we need to help in that. And without connecting with the politicians and telling them what we have, we're probably lacking things. And we have a long haul project. And our long project, if it takes 2 or 3 years, there is no family shelter in Maryland for abused woman with her 3 children or 2 children to come and house her children. This will be the Anne Arundel County Muslim Council target in 2 years. Alhamdulillah, thanks God. Almighty God was very generous with us. We have now 20 acres in Gambrel, and we're looking for a partner to build a family shelter. There is nothing in Maryland, and I'm told there is 11 shelters for pets, that's fine. At least we should have one for families.
One of the areas that the Annapolis Human Relations Commission works on is, as I mentioned in the opening segment, is to eliminate discrimination that occurs in the city. And one of the areas that we look at is discrimination that's based on religion. To what extent, if at all, are you aware of situations in which people of the Islamic faith have experienced discrimination based on religion in our community?
If there was any, and I apologize, I'm not aware of any. I probably will need to communicate more with the Muslim community in Annapolis, and I hope we'll get the chance to talk to you again if there is any. But as far as I know, we don't have a confrontation, if you wish, if that's what your question.
No.
In fact, we are looking for in Annapolis for a place where we will have ours as a mosque. Right now we are renting. We've been renting in Annapolis. But we are in a search now. We have a committee to search for a place where we can build as a mosque. and within that organization, we will have access for homeless people and needy people. But inshallah, this is our project now, one of our projects now.
What specific activities do you have that involves residents of the city of Annapolis? I understand you are a county-wide organization, but what types of involvements do you have and interactions that you have with individuals in the city of Annapolis, and how will the programs that the Muslim Council is engaged in, how will it help people in the city of Annapolis?
The food drive will definitely, because that's our target will be, main target will be Annapolis, because we understand there's poverty pockets in it. So those will be our targets for our food drive. When the first one we contacted last year was the Lighthouse in Annapolis. So they asked, they need 50 packages, 5 pounds each of meat, and we did. And I hope this year they will ask us more. If they're connected with more needy people, we're willing to provide. Now, yes, maybe we should work more, but we are a young organization, and we haven't had completed going door to door yet. But inshallah, God willing, we will be going door to door to explain our mission as we go along, tapping in the Muslim communities, because we're still recruiting we're still recruiting Muslims to join us. We're not there yet. We have, alhamdulillah, we have good membership now, but we're still seeking for more, inshallah.
You talked to a great deal about the activities that the Muslim Council is involved with now. It's very impressive. Look ahead to the future, the next 5 years. Looking 5 years out, what would be your vision as president of the council for what the council will be in 5 or 10 years? What would you like to see the council develop into in terms of its programs and activities? What you're doing now is very, very impressive. What would you like to see happen in the future that would expand your outreach and expand the opportunities that you have to serve people in our community?
In 5 years, I hope we will have our own soup kitchen, or kitchen if you wish, that we can serve the needy people. I hope by then we would have connected with senior citizens. I hope by then we will have our free clinic, and because this is one of our targets, to have a free clinic where we have the Muslim physicians. Any physician is welcome to join us, but that's what we can urge, because this is already in Montgomery County. They have the free clinic, and we want to do that in Anne Arundel County, but without having a location to avoid insurance issues. We cannot schedule our physicians, so we will have a free clinic. We will have a better school that children can do at least the elementary school, and we will have a place for entertainment for the children. We want the children to come to a place of prayers as a joy, to see when they go to the mosque or to the Muslim school that they're coming for joy. A print in their mind when they're 4 years old. For that, right now, a project right now alive, and we have $4,000 as a seed money to have a playground in Gambrel. I know it's not in Annapolis, but our Annapolis people is donating for it because we have the space. And with this way, people don't have to pay money to take their children to playground. And as I told you, we have part of the 20 acres is dedicated. We know where the playground is going to be, and we will start, inshallah. We already started looking for designs to do the playground for children. And children of Annapolis, you always welcome. We will give you the address. It's in Gambrel. Any faith, you're most welcome.
Could you tell us a little bit, Redwood, about the Islamic population in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. You'd mentioned earlier that demographically that that most people of the Islamic faith are in the upper income strata. What other characteristics could you share with us? How many, for example, people of the Islamic faith live in Anne Arundel County or Annapolis? Tell us a little bit about the population.
We are told we should have more than 5,000 voters in Anne Arundel County. Right. But we do not have the exact population because we're still registering people, and we're still doing voter registration. We have the voter registration drive is very strong, and we're getting more people trained to register people to vote. And before anything else, the Muslims in Anne Arundel County are Americans, and we know the Americans, they do not have good drives to go to vote. So we all working for all faiths to urge them the benefit of going to vote. So yes, the problem is common. We have the same problem. So we have the council explaining to individuals. I go to the mosque where we pray to urge people to vote and the importance of it. But as exact numbers, to give you numbers, I don't have, but I know it's more than 5,000 from the support we're getting, from the calls we get, our website visit, and statistics. Maryland have more than 300,000. So, but the concentration is not Anne Arundel County, but we definitely have more than 5,000 voters in Anne Arundel County, and we hope that the next vote. You will see them coming up to the plate, and that's when we talk to the politicians, and we want to have a say in it. But we definitely need the first appointment, and I hope if somebody listening to us from the officials, we need a member in the Board of Education. That's very important for the Muslim community, and we will have that inshallah.
Why is that very important to you to have someone at the Board of Education?
Because we want to encourage our generation, young people, we want them to go to higher education. And the preparation for that is in the elementary schools. And we feel that needs to strengthen, and we need to empower the teachers. We need to have students finishing high school with a dream to go to college. The high school is means and not the target. And when we start educating our children that it's a means to go to higher level education, that's when we achieved our goal.
If some of our viewers wanted to learn more about the Muslim Council, how could they get in touch with you? You've already mentioned your website, and I'd like to invite you to give that website again to our viewers.
It's www.aacmc.org. And better yet, if they want about the faith, they can contact www.mlc.org, Mecca Learning Center, mlc.org, and they can ask to talk to one of the imams if they are interested to know more details about the faith.
We've been talking today with Radwan Abu Rahman, who's president of the Anne Arundel County Muslim Council. Thank you for viewing our program, and please join us again for Annapolis Mosaics. If you would like more information about the Annapolis Human Relations Commission, there is contact information on your screen. You can phone us at 410-263-7998 or email us at hrcommission@annapolis.gov. And remember the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We have flown the air like birds and swum the seas like fish, but have yet to learn to walk the earth like brothers and sisters.